Colorful mascots were all the rage for many years. Their bright colors and cheerful demeanors relentlessly fighting to draw the eyes of dreamy children. The 90s was no exception, spurred on by the success of Sonic, and more timely, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Everyone loved their goofy, sometimes awesome antics. Their perfect quips and clever tricks got them a gig with Konami, making a game where they could actually swing their swords. Its killer graphics made it a massive success, looking exactly like a cartoon. I loved it, arcade owners loved it, and fans of the show loved it. Not bad for a bunch of dudes living in New York's poop their whole lives. But Konami were thinking 3 steps ahead. If they had their own knight in shining armor, they'd never have to share their wealth with those troublesome turtles. Only one problem. Everyone wanted their slice of the success. Many contenders tried and failed to dethrone the Ninja Turtles, like Awesome Possum. Kids weren't that stupid. We could smell cash-ins from bad art or gameplay. So how do you get your guy to stand out from the crowd? You get the master Nobuya Nakazato to make the best game he can. He directed Contra Hardcore, which was only one of the greatest side-scrolling running guns ever made. Needless to say, Konami wasn't playing Possum. Rocket Knight is awesome! Just look at it. Do I even need to comment? Nakazato once again proved his mastery of Sega's hardware, pushing it hard with superb controls, enthralling stages, and great performance, only slowing down for big explosions where it doesn't matter. Fudge! Okay, it's almost flawless. I don't think I need to explain Rocket Knight's surface appeal. The ginormous bosses that go up in flames are nothing short of theatric. But it's the mechanics, the underlying feel of a game that makes or breaks the grade. And that's where Rocket Knight Adventures really shines. Those aren't obvious at a glance, but I trust you'll understand why Sparkster's moves feel so good if I break them down. Starting with the way your sword and rocket intersect. At any time, you can rev it up and let it rip, making you invincible and sending you flying in any direction you want. That's great already, but if you boost diagonally, you ricochet off everything, including instant death. It's very powerful, but unlike Sonic Spin Dash, the rocket has repercussions. Once it's fired, you're left a sitting duck till you touch the ground, meaning your power comes with responsibility. Used properly, you'll dash through the fields like a blazing star, laying waste to everything in your path with ease. Used improperly, it's hilarious. It's such a brilliant mechanic. Spend a few hours blasting around, and you'll find yourself showing off in no time. You can actually get through the game bouncing around like a tailed pinball. It does high damage, but good players won't neglect the good knight's sword. It shoots projectiles, but that's not interesting. The real damage begins when it makes contact. Normally, you take damage if you touch something bad, but if you're slashing away, they can't hurt you on contact. Not until you let up or back off. Which means you can melt some bosses in seconds if you pound attack hard enough. This mechanic is also brilliant. It makes these fights highly dynamic. When you master a pattern and can stay in the boss's face with grace, you're rewarded with a brisk and explosive victory. But that won't stop you from staying back and standing your ground if you're not completely familiar with the boss's behavior. Your health bar is big enough to let you figure it out without a lot of pressure. It's all about risk and reward. You conduct the pace, and speed is your sweet reward for playing well, lending itself to countless hours of replays beyond winning. Something lesser games forget. It's just as much a joy to watch as it is to play, which I can't say for many other games. It's further amplified by the international release, making you play on hard mode to see the good ending. All this on top of what's already an audio-visual masterpiece. That right there, chef's kiss. As much as I enjoy its excellence, I'm not gonna pretend Rocket Knight's completely perfect. Games rarely are. I have one minor complaint: the lack of visual clarity. It's not entirely clear what will or won't hurt you sometimes, mainly because the rules change from boss to boss, like this Pigbot. You can pass through its arms just fine, but if you try that against this crab, you'll get hit. That isn't a problem in Contra 3. You got a gun, your shots are blocked by spots you can't touch. But here, that isn't set in stone. Your shots sometimes go through things that damage you, leading to confusion on what you can and can't touch. It can be annoying planning ahead whenever your teachings are ignored more than half the time. I've seen the lack of consistency cause newer players frustration, and that could have been averted if it were as consistent as Contra 3. Still, that doesn't detract much from the Knight's success. It would have been flawless with a few minor tweaks, but you're still getting one amazing adventure. Possibly one that'll last you a lifetime. For that, I award Rocket Knight Adventures an S-. I'd like to close this one out by thanking Nobuya Nakazato from the bottom of my heart. You made gaming worthwhile for a lot of people, and that's irreplaceable. And for you, dear viewer, until next time, I hope you all live long and prosper.